Okay, having unboxed everything, there is a user guide that might be worth a quick scan, or if you're like me, you probably don't bother, but it does say you need to download the app first, and you also need to charge up the camera. So the app that you need to download is this one called the FLIR One app. It's free to download, and while you're at it, there's another app called the Home Inspect app, which gives you some kind of hints and tips about what you might be looking for inside a house if you're using it to look at heat loss. So we can load up the FLIR app. I've already registered. Oh, there's a car one as well. It's just telling me there's a car one, Car Inspect. So the app is inviting me to put the camera in the bottom. So we switch the camera on. So the camera's got a little button just here, and we press the button and you get a little red light, and then you should wait for it to flash green, he says, checking in the in the book. Okay, so you can now see it flashing green, so it's now ready to plug into your phone. Now what I've found, first thing is, if you're inspecting a house, you want the actual lenses, these two bits here, to be pointing away from your phone screen. So rather than plug it in that way, where you'll be looking at the heat signature from your face, is to turn it around and plug it in this way. Okay, so then it thinks about it for a while, and then hopefully we'll get the screen up. So don't panic, it should find it and then load up. There we go. So I was starting to panic there, but it did get there in the end. So as I say, don't panic, it'll get there. Okay, so you'll now see a screen with some colour on it, and you're now up and ready to look at things. In terms of explaining what you're trying to see, so say the other app gives you some hints and tips. So inside a house, for example, you can particularly look for cold spots where perhaps loft insulation has not been put in and there is insulation in other parts. That will tend to show a cooler colour where the heat is being lost through the ceiling, and that is the app will show that as a more bluey colour. Where things are a bit warmer, will show up as a sort of more reddy orangey colour. You also get a spot temperature here, so if you're particular about wanting to know exactly the temperature of a surface in terms of how much heat is being radiated from that spot, you can actually measure the temperature using the spot. So you're ready to go. When you're finished, definitely put it in your little case, because that will protect it. It's a nice hard case. The other thing I would say is that it eats batteries, so make sure your phone's charged up as well. So after half an hour of going around somebody's house, certainly the battery on my phone was noticeably drained. And obviously if you're going around a house, make sure the camera itself is charged up. The other thing I found is when you're holding it, depending on where the buttons are on your smartphone, you might want to play around with how you hold it, because it's quite easy to, sometimes you're in the middle of doing something or looking at it and you press the reset button or something, and then you have to start again, which is very annoying. The other thing you can do is take a picture. So what I've done is, where residents want it, I've taken pictures and then just emailed the pictures to them, so they've got their own pictures.